Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun Mitzion, Iyun Shir Mishnah Yomi. I want to discuss today Perek Bey's Mishnah Gimel. We talked about yesterday that there's two different ways for someone to be koveya his fruits for Shumas and Maasros, that he has to take off Shumas and Maasros now, and he can't even snack from them. One of these ways is you bring it into your house. Another way is the Gemara Malacha. We mentioned those two ways in the beginning of this Masechta. Now the Mishnah introduces a third way where you actually sell your fruits, right? Usually, when you harvest your fruits, a lot of people took them for personal consumption in their house, but there is a big market out there to sell your fruits. There's farmers out there; they harvest a lot of fruit and they plan on selling it. So if you live and you plan on selling it where you sell it, so I guess once you bring it to your store or something like that. However, let's say you're living in Galil in the northern part of Israel, and you're traveling to Yehuda, to the southern part of Israel. You want to sell it over there. So only when you get there, when you get to that place, then it's already cooked for the maestros. Now, the reason being is because before you got there, you can change your mind and you can decide, I want to use it for private purposes. It only becomes, once it gets to that area, now you can prepare to sell. So it's become like he turns into a mocher, he turns into someone who's selling it. When you turn into a mocher, we explain there's two different reasons that you have to take a Shumas Maasros. One is that you take it into your house. When you take it into your house, you have bilas over it. You have ownership over it. When you have ownership, Hashem says, before you take for yourself, take for the Kohanim, take for the Leviim, take for the Aniyim. A second explanation is the Gemara Malacha, right? When it's fully processed, even though you don't have bilas over it yet, it's now a disgrace to the Kohanim and to the Leviim, to the Israelim, for you to take a snack from that produce, because it's now supposedly ready for a matana. You're disgracing the Kohanim, Levim, and Israel. Two different reasons. By Mokar, I think the reason is din and bilas, because when you're selling something, you're declaring I'm the owner of it, right? You're going to take compensation for these fruits. So the fact when you become a Mokar, so then at that point you're a bilas over it. Hashem says, like when you take it into your house, no, you give Chuvas Maasros before you take for yourself, before you earn money from this. And the same thing by a rochel, someone who normally it's not his fruits. He's just taking. He's the middleman. He's taking fruits from someone. He's selling it. So even if he doesn't get to the place where he's selling it, he just sleeps over in the night, right? If he's walking, he just took it from the farmer and he's on his way. So that's not kovas l'maiser. He could snack from it. However, once he gets to the hotel, even though he doesn't get to the city where he sells, since he's a mocher, he's a rochel, that's his job is to sell, and he enters into a hotel at night, which is sort of like your house for that night. So that's already koveim. He was a marchar already, but of course you have to get to the place where you're going to sell. But once he sleeps in that place, so even though technically for anyone else going to a hotel is not considered your house, for him it's considered his house. Because it's the same svara, mocher and beso is the same svara. Is that now you are considered to be taking it into your rishus, and you want to have bilas over it to sell it. So therefore, when Hashem says you think you're the bailam over it, Hashem says no, you're not the bailam over it. First take off Shumas Maasros, and then you could benefit financially from it. That would be the explanation of this mission. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.